In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make this taper cutting jig for your table saw. To get started, you're going to want to cut yourself a piece of 1/2-inch plywood. I'm starting off with a 12-inch by 32-inch, and then a second piece, the same length, 32 inches by 3 inches. Next, you want to set up a 1/2-inch router bit to take about 1/8 of an inch depth of cut. That's going to be used to house the head of the T-bolt. So that'll be your first cut. You want to set your fence back 2 to 3 inches. I split the difference and went 2.5, just so that you're not cutting the groove too close to the edge. It also allows for the next step where you are going to change your bit so that you don't have to move the fence because it's blocking your cover. One more thing before we start cutting, I put a piece of tape on the back of the fence and I marked 2 inches off of center in each direction. Those will be the marks that I'm going to use for the edge of the plywood to determine where I'm going to start and end my plunge cuts. So let me show you how that's done. So you're going to repeat that on both sides, and then we'll switch the bit. Now that we switched the bit out to the 1/2-inch bit, what we're going to do, we left the fence exactly where it was, so now we're going to plunge cut this board again, but this time it'll go right in the middle of the previous cut. But we're going to go all the way through this time with a 5/16 inch bit. There you got it. So the same setup as before with a couple small tweaks. The first thing is we move the fence forward so that our cut will line up with the center of our board. The second thing is we don't want to do the cut all the way through because it'll weaken this board. There'll be too much flex here. So we're going to leave a space uncut here. So I put a couple extra marks for our starts and stops as we're lifting this in and out. So we'll go ahead and show you how we cut those. Now technically you could call it done and use the fence as your guide, but I'm going to put a strip in here and glue a strip to the bottom of this so I'm not dependent on the fence. And the reason I'm going to do that is it'll allow me to use deeper boards if I'm trying to get an angle cut, as long as they're not wider than my 2 grooves here. So let me show you how we're going to do that real quick. Pretty simple. Right, I've pre-cut a piece of hardwood. I don't recommend using plywood to fit inside my channel. It's just a little bit shy of the top of this. So I'm going to put some washers down here to raise it up. We're going to set this down like so. And we're going to put a couple drops with some accelerator. And just like that, we've got our board on there. Now I'll pop a couple screws in the bottom of this to hold it in place, and then we'll make a test cut. One more step here to just put a little piece of wood on the edge of the board to serve as a stop so that I can get consistent cuts. As you can see, you can set it up at any angle you want. I'm just gonna taper the end of this table leg that I'm making rather than the whole thing, but you can put this at any angle. So we'll show you what a cut looks like here. There you got it, an angled cut to meet your needs. There you have it, a pretty simple little build to help you cut tapers consistently and accurately on your table saw. Hope you enjoyed this video. If so, I'd appreciate you giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel.